Chasing trail, kicking up dirt, sweating my eyes, but it don't hurt. Fast feet, loose rocks, send it full sail. Ain't no stopping, we chasing trail. Yeehaw!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chasing Trail. I am your host, Teddy Tonelli, aka Teddy Teabags, and today we have a guest that nobody expected to be on the show, especially me, okay? But we give credit where credit is due, and when people step up and embrace the challenge, that's what we're here, that's what we're all about here at Chasing Trail. So, coming off his most recent victory at the Angeles Crest 100, that's right, Max Jolliffe. You know what, Max? How do I pronounce your last name? I think I've been doing it wrong this entire time.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. There's double L's and two F's and an E that doesn't really make sense, but it's pronounced Jolliffe, or at least that's how I say it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jolliffe. Okay, yeah. Is that like Spanish or something?
I think it's an English surname, but some people think it's French. I don't even really know.
Oh, wow. You know what? That's interesting. English, because you kind of look like Jon Snow a little bit. Anyone ever tell you that? You look like the
Jon
guy?
Snow.
Yeah.
That's actually a very nice compliment. Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Sometimes Teddy could be nice, sometimes Teddy can't. But I think that that's a good, that it looks like you. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Hey, Matt, how you doing, Max?
I'm actually doing good. Yeah, feeling pretty well recovered since AC. Got some travel coming up. Just excited, and then obviously Mammoth is right around the corner, so I'm fired up, feeling good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I love to hear it. Yeah, oh man, Mammoth is sneaking up on us, and the thing is, that's part of the reason why I got you on here, so we could talk about Mammoth. And the thing is that Teddy got himself into a little bit of predicament. Sometimes I let my mouth go and start talking for me, and then the next thing you know, here we are. Teddy's running Mammoth, but we will get into that. We will get into that. But before we talk about AC 100 and what you got coming up, I want to ask you a question regarding your sponsor. All right, Satisfy. Okay, I see an ad the other day. Right, there's advertising their shorts. So I'm like, oh, okay, Teddy's in the market for some shorts. Maybe I'll go see. Maybe that's what makes Max fast is he gets these shorts, right? So I go on these shorts for like $420 freaking dollars. These shorts are okay, $420 freaking dollars, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, like these shorts better, make me run faster, and I also better lick my freaking balls at that price. Okay, what is it that makes these shorts so freaking expensive?
I think those ones specifically are the Dyneema ones. Were they brown?
I believe they was brown, yeah.
That's Dyneema fabric. That might make you faster. You're shaving grams off right there.
Okay.
But yeah, they're just really nice. Just
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Is it your shorts of choice? Is that the ones that you've been wearing?
Not those ones specifically. I like the Spaceos. They're actually the cheapest ones. So those are my favorite.
Yeah. How much is the cheapest ones though?
I think like 180, 190 maybe.
Holy shit.
I
Holy
think they
shit.
got them under $200. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I freaking if they don't, Teddy's gonna need to licking somebody's balls to get them. I tell you that right now.
Yeah, you actually might be better off just never wearing them, because once you put those things on, they're so nice you can't really ever go back to anything else.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, Teddy's been wearing these tights lately. They're making my legs look great, so I've been wearing these. That's nice.
They're cute. Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well, thanks. Cute wasn't what I was going for, but that's fine.
You look like one of Santa's little helpers.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of like it's it looked like the movie The Elf. Yeah, a little bit like that.
Spot on.
I see. Yep. All right, we're seeing things on the same page. Okay. All right, Max. If I'm not mistaken, you and Teddy, we're a little similar in terms of what got us into running. Doing a bit of reading on you, you used to be like a hardcore drug addict like Teddy. Teddy used to be a crazy person. Yeah. First question, what was the poison? What was the poison?
Towards the end it was heroin. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Started with smoking weed and drinking, but pills later on, doing coke, all kinds of other, pretty much anything and everything I could get my hands on. And then by the end, when it was really bad, it was heroin. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the similarities is pretty crazy here, actually. But to the bigger point is what I really actually want to know, and what I think is more useful for the people, other than all the crazy war stories, because we could probably go into it. Maybe we'll do that later on our own time. But what did running do? As how did running play a role in your recovery?
Yeah, I kind of always have said that running just became like my new obsession. So for the longest time, it was like drugs and alcohol were like consumed my life, and I had been sober for a couple years, and kind of was lost, and kind of totally by accident stumbled into running and just kind of fell in love with it, and it was like the first time pretty much in my entire life where I like started to progress in something, and I felt like I was just like kind of naturally good at it, and yeah, I really just ran with it, and became more competitive, started signing up for races, training a bunch, and then had a bunch of success, and like totally changed my life.
Wow. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Speaking of competitive, when do you think you will run, a competitive race? When do you think that'll be?
Well, I ran Black Canyon 50K. That's
Oh,
decently competitive.
okay.
I wouldn't say I did super well, but I think I got 14th or something. But there were some big names of fast guys there. And then I ran Black Canyon 100K quite a few years ago. It was like my second ultra ever, and I think I got like top 50, but it wasn't a time that was like amazing or anything. But that was more kind of in the beginning, and then actually, my first race ever was Broken Arrow, I think
Yeah.
in 2022. So that's a competitive race. So I've ran a couple, never really
Okay.
done super well at a highly competitive race, but we're working up to it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I say that, we mentioned before about AC 100. Okay. Typically that race, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the most competitive race out there, but it has been getting, mostly because they stopped making it a golden ticket race and all of that. And, I don't know what, there's
Yeah.
probably some beefing
Same,
going on there.
same can be
Yeah.
said for Sean O'Brien. Like Sean O'Brien 100K used to be a golden ticket race, used to be super competitive. Some really fast times have gone down there, but I won that race, but I wouldn't say it was like super competitive. There wasn't a lot of competition. I think I won by like an hour and a half. So yeah,
Excuse me. Oh, wow. Got myself a little frog in my throat there. Yeah, yeah. No, well, the reason I bring up AC 100 is because it's notoriously a really, really hot race, right? It's always hot. And you seem to be the guy, kind of guy that you thrive in the heat. You like the heat. You
I
like
do.
it when
Yeah,
you turn it up a notch.
yeah,
How was that race this year, being that it was an out and back instead of the full, point to point like it usually is? It kind of threw a curveball, with the
yeah.
wildfires. Tell us a little bit about that race.
I mean, I'll definitely have to go back to do the point to point course, just because that's like the most appealing. The good news about this year, even though it was an out and back half the course, that half is like the most beautiful part of the course. So some running through some burn areas in Wrightwood, like the top of Acorn was all just total burn scar. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit unpleasant, especially with the poodle just everywhere. It's pretty nasty, but yeah, a lot more exposed because everything's been burned. And obviously, staying at a higher altitude, that second climb up and over Baden Powell
Ooh,
was brutal. Um,
wow.
yeah, and it was classically hot, and yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, stoked to have been able to do it.
One friend of the show, Nick Allen, okay, was racing that race, and I was watching it, okay, because I've eyes on you, Max, got eyes on you everywhere, and I've been watching you, and I said, okay, he's going out fast. This guy's got balls, okay, he's going out, and I said, you know what? I said, my guy Nick, he's like a cougar. He's gonna catch Max, and he's gonna eat him alive, but. That never happened. You gapped the shit out of everybody. You finish, and I look where second place is. Nowhere to be freaking found. And I said, okay, you know what? Teddy's been talking a lot of shit. And I gotta say, Max, a lot of respect went your way when you won that race. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. Yeah, no, hey, credit what credit is due. But, you know, uh, most recently at Cocodona, okay, I need
Ooh.
to clear some things up here, all
Yeah.
right, because you were not able to finish. There was a lot of talk as to why, and there was a rumor circulating said that it was because that your herpes had flared up. Can you enlighten the people on this?
Dude, there was so much shit wrong with me. Like a herpes flare up might even make a little bit more sense. But
Yeah.
no, it was I got sick like the week before the race, so kind of similar to what happened to Tara at Western States this year. I just came down with this like really crazy chest cold, and I woke up the Monday a week before the race was going to start with a sore throat, and I'm like, oh, I'll probably just shake this in a couple of days. Started getting more and more sick, and I kept just thinking like, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and feel fine up until the day before the race, and then I didn't sleep for like 2 nights before the race, so then running for another 3 days without sleeping, just coughing up like crazy green loogies and eventually blood from coughing so much.
Ew.
Um, so it was like the sickness, and then around God, it had to have been like mile 140 or 150. I started to get this like tightness in one of my shins, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Am I getting shin splints for the first time in my life?" Like here at 150 miles into Cocodona, and then it popped up on my other shin too. I'm like, "What's going on?" Like this is like really weird. So like pretty much 10 out of 10 pain for the next, you know, 90, 100 miles until I got to a point where I just like it was the second to last aid station. I think mile 238 Wildcat, I think it is. And I just like I laid down for a minute and I was like dead set on finishing, and I went to get back up to head out and go up and over Eldon, and I just couldn't even stand up. My feet were like balloons.
Wow.
And yeah, and we had to call it. I mean, the decision was kind of made for me. I was like, I, I was just fucked. There was no way I can't if I can't even stand up, how am I going to walk over Eldon? And I was just like, dude, just take me to the hospital right now. And we went in there, and I also had rhabdo. So it was just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And yeah, my herpes did flare up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it was, usually, Teddy's had herpes flares before, but
It
I've
was
never
just
had it.
downstairs though. It wasn't anything up here. So
That's
thank
good.
God.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you can't mess with the money maker.
Mhm.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Yeah, no. Absolutely. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know. And I'm glad you cleared that up for the people because again, there's these rumors and the thing is we, here was about the hard hitting journalism and I just need to, some people don't get comfortable asking those questions, but I say, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. I'll ask him about his junk, but it
Happens to
sounds
the
like
best
there
of us.
was other problems there other than the herpes. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Have you gotten those things taken care of? And what exactly is a rhabdo? It sounds like a type of a dog.
Yeah, rhabdo. I'm a dumbass and definitely not a scientist, but it's just from muscle tissue breakdown. Like you get built up liver enzymes. I think the chemical is called creatine kinase, and
Ooh.
my levels were like fucking 100x what they were supposed to be or something. I don't even know.
Wow.
They were really high, and yeah, and I had it ended up that tightness that was in my shins that was like really debilitating. That kind of made my feet blow up and swell up. It was a cellulitis infection because we were being rained on for 3 days, so my feet and my socks are wet. We're running through cow
Wow.
pastures, mud. Like the mud was just insane. So my legs are covered in mud, and I had just like gotten this skin infection that just totally blew my legs up. Like the swelling was insane. Like I had no flexion in my foot, and I was bedridden. Not even bedridden. I couldn't even get upstairs to sleep in my bed in my house for 3 days. So I was like sleeping on the
Wow.
couch and like pissing in jugs and jars because I just like couldn't walk.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is terrible. That is
yeah,
absolutely terrible. Wow.
definitely wasn't
Okay.
good.
No, that does not sound good. That sounds the very opposite of good. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, okay. So I was wondering. I was noticing. I see these guys. There's you're not on the Air Vapor Racing team. Okay. Is there a reason that Daddy Jamil didn't put you on the team, or is it in the works?
Oh, I don't know. He's never extended the invite or the offer, but Jamil's a great friend of mine. Yeah, I don't know if he's thinking about that or considering it, but what even I'm not sure if I even know what the Aravipa Trail team is all about. Do they get free entry into the races and then they're
I
like,
think, yeah, maybe. I don't know. The thing, like, what I've noticed is that, like, the reason I ask is because they, like, the kids would say they're all kind of mid, okay? And I'm looking at you and I'm like, he's less mid. He could be like the, like this, the pony boy, And I figured you guys is both like satisfied boys with all your fanciness and everything like that, Maybe you could go on, maybe you talk to Jamil, you say, hey, Jamil, get me on the team. These guys are scrubs. Put a real champion in there. I've gotten Rhabdo and Herpes, and I'm trying to finish your races. I don't know. And then you could get into Cocodona next year for free, which would be pretty
I'll,
cool.
I'll, I'll ask him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
That'd
would
be
do
dope.
that. That would be dope. That would be really dope. I'd like to see it. Recently, speaking of the Era Vapors, recently that we uncovered some documents on the Dbot project from Era Vapor Artworks. And Jamil created, we found Dylan Bowman as a, a media assistant in the lab. And recently they have a hit squad out there. They're trying to decommission Dbot. We're trying to put a stop to it because we are here for human robot relations, and we want peace there because we want to make sure that our robot overlords isn't going to hurt us later. Can you shed any light because you are friends with Jamil? Do you have any involvement with the Dbot project? Do you know it? Do you want to tell us anything that we don't know?
I might have to plead the fifth on that one.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can incriminate Jamil or
Okay.
myself or any others involved. So I'm just gonna have to plead the fifth.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, everybody. Max may be
No,
involved. No.
I actually thought the beef was between Candace and Jamil. Aren't they the 200 overlords?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. I mean, the whole thing, I do actually have a question in here for you in the lightning round regarding those, the Cocodonas and the destination trail. I don't know. I saw the Arizona Monster, the coverage, and they said that some of the aid stations, they didn't have any porta potties and people was just pooping in buckets. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, Teddy's not paying $3,000 to go poop in a bucket. I ain't doing that.
I don't even know how true that might just. I saw that stuff too, but I know people who ran that race and they didn't say there
Yeah,
was anything
these
like that.
these
But
people on the internet, man.
yeah, yeah, who
Yeah.
knows?
Have you ever pooped in a bucket?
Hmm. Uh, in a bucket? I've
Yeah.
shit a lot of places, but I don't think I've ever shit in a bucket.
Yeah.
Definitely shit my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
fun.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I Teddy shit his pants yesterday on a run. I tell you what, this is the thing is Teddy's cheap, so I make all my own electrolyte mixes, and I mistook the sodium for the magnesium. Put a bunch of
Ooh.
magnesium. Yeah, it was bad. I
Yeah.
was running. I was at like mile 5, and I was like, oh boy,
Yeah.
something's not right. And I was like, my tummy hurts. It's got some GI issues, and then Teddy don't usually have GI issues. And then the next thing you know, boom. It was, and I had to walk 2 miles back to my car, okay, with poo in my
Ooh.
pants, and people was
Ooh.
passing by me. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really good looking girl. I passed by her, and I said, "Oh, you stink," and I said, "Yeah, I just shit my pants. What do you expect?" You
Oh
know?
no, that's worst case scenario right
It
there.
it was
Yeah.
terrible. It was
Man.
absolutely terrible. Yeah.
Bad.
Anyway, and what was the way? How? What? Tell me the craziest poop story that you have when you pooped your pants.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how crazy it is, but just classic poop in your pants story, like seeing the bathroom just like 100 feet away, and you're almost there, and then just explosion out the back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that wasn't even too long ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
happens to the best of us. If you haven't shit your pants running, you haven't been running for long enough.
That's what I say. Is that if you
Yeah,
haven't shit your pants as a runner, can you really call yourself a runner? And probably not.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're in agreement there.
You do you carry wipes on you, or are you a sacrifice guy?
The thing is I got a buddy who does the sock thing. I just carry wipes at this point because it
Yeah.
happens so often. I feel like, you know what? I got to carry the wipes, but sometimes it just becomes too much for the wipes where it's like, okay, I got to go find a lake or a sink or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
jump in the ocean. Yeah, I've
Oh,
had to do that. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, yeah. You know what? That's a good segue here because we've already gotten a few of these little questions, and I'm gonna get us right into the lightning round. We're gonna spice things up a bit. The lightning round is a really fun segment that we have here where I'm gonna ask you a question and you try to answer it lightning fast. Without further ado, hold on. The thing is I'm gonna play some music, but it's only in the post-production part, so you're not gonna hear the
Okay.
music. But if you like pretend like there's game show music going on in your head, it makes it more fun. Okay. All right. Okay. Lightning round. All right. Lightning round. Ready. Okay. You can only do one the rest of your life: running or surfing.
Running.
If you could bring back any dinosaur, which would it be?
Velociraptor.
Who would win in a fight, Scott Jurek or Jim Walmsley?
Scott Jurek.
If you was gay, which one would you bang?
Tim Tollefson.
Right answer. Cocodona 250 or Moab 240?
Cocodona 250. By a landslide.
Wow. Okay. Better actor, Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Okay, lightning round is over. First of all, I gotta say, fastest lightning round in history, best answers in history. Max, you were full of surprises here. The champ is here. Oh my lord!
Yep.
You know, Velociraptor is a great one because they're fierce little creatures.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And you are absolutely right about Tim Tollefson. I had Tim on the show, and I asked Tim. I said, I need to get a piece of your hair, Tim. And the thing is that people think that at the end of the day that I'm running Mammoth 200 for Tim's honor, to make sure that you can't go over there and proclaim yourself king of Mammoth. Okay, we're getting into that, but in reality, it's so I could get close, so I could just run my hands through Tim's hair, just like run my hands through it, just like, oh yeah, and then slip, get it, and I'm running away. I need to get that hair. I bet it's magic.
What we all dream of. Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Okay, here. One thing I want to ask you, we had some fan questions here, and I want to ask a few of them to you. First is, what is your favorite distance to run?
Ooh, probably just the classic 100-mile. If there was something in between 100 and 200, I think that like 150 or 160 miles is like, that's a nice distance. You're not
Ooh.
2 nights. You could do it fairly fast, maybe even less than 2 nights. But I almost wish that there was like some of those distances, or at least a distance in between 100 and 200. That would probably be my favorite. But there's Badwater 135, but that race is kind of crazy in its own right. But yeah, I like the 100 to 200. I've never ran just 200. Mammoth will be just my only not 250 or 240 mile race, but yeah, maybe the 200 distance is nice. I don't know. 100 to 200.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, what they say at Cocodona weekend, though, they have the Sedona 125, but that's not quite there yet, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
just like a long 100. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a long 100. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's discuss the elephant in the room here. Okay, Teddy called you out for the King of Moab documentary. At the end of the day, I felt it was silly to give yourself the title without even owning the course record. All right. So, since those comments, I decided to sign up for Mammoth so I could prevent you from winning and creating another documentary about how you're going to be the new king of Mammoth. And that title belongs to Tim Tollefson, which I believe we have already established. But
Tim is the king.
Tim is the king. But I'm going to let you explain yourself without interruptions here. So, Max, tell us. What did Teddy get wrong? And are you prepared to get wrecked by Teddy at the Mammoth 200? Go.
Well, first off, I'm ready. The battle, the war wages on. We're going for it together at Mammoth, so that should be fun. But I technically do have the course record for the new Moab course. So for the first 3 or 4, I think it was the first 4 years, the course was really only like 220 miles. I think it was 223. Like she called it a 238 or something, but it was never even close to 240 miles. So the course, so not the year I ran it, but the year prior that Jesse Haynes won, that was the first year of the new course. So and the new course is like has considerably more vert, and it gets to up to 10,000 feet. It gets higher twice, which I don't think the previous course did. But I mean, yeah, definitely way faster times have been ran on the old course, but it was like something like 20 miles shorter. So I guess, you know, technically I do have the course record, and as far as the name King of Moab goes, it was, you know, it was a project that a lot of people worked on, and that was the name that we came up with, and it was catchy and fitting, and yeah, that's why we named it King of Moab. But I just for the record, I have never once referred to myself as the King of Moab. That's just the name of the film, and people have kind of started calling me that. It's funny, like around town, people will be like, "Oh, King of Moab," and I'm like, "Thanks." Yeah, but yeah. People have also been calling me the King of Rhabdo since Cocodona. So
that's okay. That's pretty funny. And you know what? The thing is that I gotta say, Max, you know, most people would say, hey, they said, Teddy, Max ain't gonna come on there. Max isn't gonna come onto your show. And I said, okay. I said, we'll see. You know, and then our people reached out to you, and your people got back, and they said he'd love to. And I was floored. Said, okay. You know what? We're bringing him in. We're gonna talk to the guy, and I'm glad we did, Max.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, all right? You know, doesn't mean I'm going to hold back at Mammoth 200. Oh, no. We're bringing the can of whoop ass, and we're opening it all the way open. Yeah. But that goes to
take it easy on you. Yeah.
No, I don't expect you to. We want you to bring your A game. We don't want the King of Rhabdo. We want the King of Moab to be there.
Yeah, the goal is just to not end up in the hospital like Cocodona. But dude, I think we should be focusing our attention and energy. Like, we got bigger fish to fry. There's some killers in this race. Why are we taking it out on each other?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I think that if we give each other our best, we could give everybody else our best, because
we'll push each other. Yeah,
we push each other, because here's who I'm honestly scared of is Tara Dower. That lady is like a freaking assassin, and also Rachel. Oh my God,
Rachel. Yeah, she's a fucking beast too. Tara's on the long trail, or starting the long trail like today. She's gonna get the FKT on the long trail, and I don't know. Yeah, she's a beast. I've actually raced her one time. So when I ran Black Canyon, it was my first 100K. I was like fucking blowing up at mile 55, the last aid station, and some chick just goes fucking blowing past me, and everyone's like, "Yeah, go Tara." I'm like, "Oh, Tara Dower, yeah, she just smoked me." So yeah, she's beat me before. Rachel Cocodona, she fucking whooped my ass. I never even saw her. I saw her at the first aid station and just never saw her again. She was just off. So yeah, Rachel whooped my ass too. And then Jimmy Elam, monster.
Yeah, so, you know, the thing, Jimmy goes to when Jimmy signed up, I said, oh shit, there goes the neighborhood, because you know, when Jimmy signs up for a race, Jimmy usually doesn't lose a race, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, he's 100-mile guy, Max. He's 100-mile guy. Anything could happen in these 200-mile races.
That's very true. That's what I always say. Anything can happen, you know.
Yeah. Jimmy's in for it. The thing is I don't think that the King of the Wasatch is ready. I really don't think he is. But that's that.
You could have a herpes flare up.
Exactly. Thank
Never
you.
know.
Right. Yeah. You're staying on Mammoth here for a minute. You know, Teddy, I've been saying, I had Tara on the other day, or not Tara. What's the other? Rachel. I am so sorry, Rachel. I didn't mean to say that.
Fucking beat your ass when she sees you.
She is. You. Oh my God. And she do it so nicely too, but it would still hurt. Okay. Sorry. I've been saying, you know, I think that Mammoth is getting 1 in 48 hours or less, maybe. What are you thinking on that? What's your goal time?
Oh, my goal time? I'd like to be close to that 48 sub 50-hour range. I think that would be like a really awesome goal. But dude, it might even be closer to 40 hours. Like, I think it's going to be really, really fast.
Oh yeah, it's only 20,000 feet.
Yeah, especially for those people who are good in the mountains. Like, I think it's gonna be one of the fastest 200s.
Yeah, and that actually, I'm wondering, you being kind of, you're an OC guy. How do you find any vert over there? Where's the
Ooh, I
mountains
get
that you go to?
well, yeah. There's decent. We got decent small mountains. I mean, the Santa Ana Mountains. There's this actually this race I just ran, Ara Viper race in July. It's called Harding Hustle. It's like my favorite place to run. There was like 6,000 feet of vert and 50K of that race. So decent little run. Doesn't get up to high altitude at all. It's the altitude that I just get absolutely fucked. Just coming from sea
Yeah.
level. So yeah, and then like Baldy is only like an hour and a half drive, and then San Gorgonio, San Jacinto, those are, maybe 2 hours. So if I do want to get into some big mountains, it's not too hard. And even driving up to the Sierras, if I wanted to do a weekend up there, is 4 hours away. So it's really not too bad. I feel like Mammoth is kind of like in my backyard almost. I grew up learned how to snowboard in Mammoth. I've been going there since I was a little kid, so fairly familiar with the area. And yeah, it's a little bit tricky living, at sea level, so close to the beach. But we get it done. We do whatever we can.
Yeah, no, Teddy, when Teddy moved to California, it was mostly for the mountains. So I know, I'm very familiar with it, with the Baldy and the San Gorgonio, and we're actually going up to the Eastern Sierra this weekend to do a little bit of race recon. Should be
Sick.
great. We're really
Nice.
excited. Yeah, you're going to
Where do
Chamonix, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Chamonix. So yeah, that'll be a nice little training camp for me. I'll get some vert in the legs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I'm hoping I'm not too bogged down by sponsor obligations, and I can actually like have some time to do some running. So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, being that you're in Southern California, I don't know if we'd be able to get any time in to go, go rip a few in the mountains. But if we get some time before Mammoth or even after, we'll stay in contact. We'll go out there, maybe go have
What
some, do San Jacinto or something.
what are you doing on Saturday?
This Saturday, I'm actually gonna be doing the Ray Lakes Loop up on
Ooh,
the
I
east
actually
side.
just did.
Yeah.
I did that like a year ago. Well, maybe it was 2 years ago, but that's a sick loop.
Yeah, I'm real
Yeah,
excited. Was supposed
yeah.
to do it last year, but then Teddy got sick. Teddy couldn't go.
Are
It's
you
okay though.
are you starting at Onion Valley
Yeah, it was starting at the Onion Valley.
and then
And
going counterclockwise or clockwise?
you know what? I haven't the person I'm going with hasn't told me really much of anything. They just said we're gonna go meet up, and then we're starting at 3 in the morning, and we're just going. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
you don't need to start that early. You can start at
Yeah,
5.
he's real old, so he's
Oh,
afraid
okay.
that he's gonna take a long
Got it.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Teddy's
Uh,
really just going for the time on feet.
so I did it. I think it was August or September. I think it was it a year ago or 2 years ago? I think it had to have been. I can't even remember. I'm so fried. But it was like a crazy heat wave. I think it was 110 in Inyokern when I was driving up there. So
Oh,
yeah, at least there's plenty of rivers and streams. So once you get down into like the South Fork Kings River area, it's like super super nice. And then once right after you pass Ray Lakes and you start dropping down into that valley, there was a ton of tree fall. So
oh.
finding the trail was a little bit tricky for a couple miles in one of those areas. And but yeah, beautiful, beautiful loop. That's like one of my favorite things I've ever done is run Ray Lakes. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No. Great beta there. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. We'll report back. Let you know how it is. But that's
Well, I was
that's.
going to say I was asking what you were doing on Saturday because I'm going with our friend Taylor Morris, and we're running
No.
Harding Trail. Yeah, on Saturday morning.
Wow. That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
invite you.
Taylor is a great guy. Yeah. Oh, he's got the one guy. He's got more tattoos than the two of us combined.
Yeah, yeah, he's blasted.
Yeah, one of the questions from one of the fans, I skipped it, but I'll ask it since we was on the tattoos. But it says, "Do you have a tattoo on your wiener?"
Ooh, no, none on my wiener,
Okay. Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's always time.
maybe I'll get Teddy on it.
There you go. Hey, that's fun. Okay. Question for you. Um, Teddy always asks this question. Teddy loves animals. What is your favorite animal?
Ooh, actually, so in my right out my backyard, we have this kind of trail system. It's not like real trails. It's like a dirt loop and a park, but there's these birds called white-tailed kites, and they're these little raptors. They're little tiny small white birds, but they hover in the air, and then they dive bomb and grab bunnies and squirrels out of the field. But it's a sick ass bird. That's my favorite animal.
Okay,
Yeah. White-tailed kite. Yeah.
White-tailed kites. Okay, I've
Look,
never had
look 'em up.
somebody
They're
say.
fucking badass looking.
I will, yeah. I've never had somebody tell me a bird was their favorite animal. This is a first. We're getting a lot of firsts on this show. This is a good episode. This is great. I'm excited. I don't know if anybody else is excited, but I'm excited. This is good.
If I had to pick another animal, it would probably be just a golden retriever. I got 2 of them. I fucking love those animals.
Yeah, golden retrievers is so friendly and nice. I have 2 golden retrievers that live next door to me, and there's always barking at me, showing their teeth, like ah. But I think it's how they smile. Yeah, but it's they smiling. They smiling
Okay.
ones. Yeah, they wagging the tails but because they
Oh,
smile.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
happy to see you. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just happy dogs. Yeah. They only bit me one time, but that's fine. It was my fault. I stuck my hand in the fence and they didn't know me, and it's okay. It's fine. Okay, Max. I'm actually in a rush here. I gotta get going. But the thing is, this one thing that I love is to give the person, my guest, the last word. Now, you could tell a joke, you could tell a story, you could give some wisdom for the people. But I would like you to tell whatever you would like. Go ahead.
I guess, Teddy, I'll see you at Mammoth.
Okay. Wow. Oh, God. I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. Yeah. No, we will see you. We'll see you at Mammoth. That is, yep. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today's show. You could find Max on Instagram at WOA_Max. That's WOAH_Max. An underscore is kind of like a dash, but it's like the bottom one. Okay. He also has a YouTube channel. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but we'll put it down in the comments thing, the bio, whatever. You can go find it. You go look at his YouTube stuff, but go to his Instagram. You go find him over there. He's always posting some stuff with Satisfy where he's wearing his skimpy little expensive shorts and everything like that, dancing around, or he's like surfing and things like that with his hair. Next up for Max, again, is going to be going to Chamonix to attend the Satisfy Summit, where him and the boys will spend the week talking about how much better they are than the rest of us. But come September, the true battle will take place, as Max said, when Max and Teddy go toe-to-toe at Mammoth 200. And we expect it to be a firefight. We know that Max is going to bring his A game. That is, unless his herpes flares up. So thank you again, Max. We look forward to duking it out. And everybody, thank you for tuning in to Chasing Trail with Teddy Tonelli, a.k.a. Teddy Teabags. Until next time, Teddy out.
Chasing trail, kicking up dirt, sweating my eyes, but it don't hurt. Fast feet, loose rocks, send it full sail. Ain't no stopping, we chasing trail, yeah.